Hello, in this video I'm going to take a look at this U80 smartwatch, which is a Bluetooth smartwatch which I bought from Amazon for just over £5, so it's quite possibly the cheapest smartwatch in the world. So we're going to take a look at this and see whether or not it's any good. At 5,000 subscribers I'm going to give away 2 Apple Watch clones to 2 of you randomly, so be sure to click the subscribe button. Let's look at some of the features listed on this box. Well, it's a healthy life partner watch, whatever that means. So you can play music on this watch, it works using USB, and you can also get app and message notifications, and it works as hands-free. The best way to see whether this watch is any good is to open the box and take a look at it. So let's open the box, and you can see we've got the watch in a little bag here. We've also got a micro USB charging cable, which is standard, and a little manual as well, and I can already see on the back here the QR code to download the Android app for this watch. The first thing to say is that this watch really requires an Android phone to get the most out of it. If you use it with an iPhone, you'll only really be able to make calls. None of the health tracking stuff or most of the Bluetooth functions will work with an iPhone. You have to have an Android phone. Now this is all looking very similar to me, and that is actually because I've reviewed a similar watch in the past, not the U80 smartwatch but the U8S smartwatch, and as far as I can tell these watches are identical. They've got slightly different menu colours, but all of the features and the box mainly is exactly the same. All versions of this watch are usually very cheap, but I think so far the U80 is the cheapest I've found at around £5. So let's take a closer look at the watch. Well, it is cheaply made and you would expect that for £5, but I think you're going to be surprised actually at what this watch offers at that price. So we got this very cheap rubber strap here, but as I said before, I prefer this really to the sort of fake Apple Watch straps because they tend to be a bit fiddly to actually do up. So it's good that it's got a normal watch strap. So this U80 watch is manufactured by a company called 5, and you can see this plate on the back here with their logo on. I think if you get another one, it just won't have this metal plate on the back, to be honest. And you can see on the front of the watch it's got a very simple design. You can see the LCD screen, and it's got these icons at the bottom here that are reminiscent of an Android device. And on the side of the watch we've got a button here, and on the other side we've got the USB charging port, and what is that? Oh, that's the speaker, and also we've got a microphone down here as well. And so that's it really, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, I think it's time to turn this watch on. So to start with, we get this very simple analog face, and that makes it really easy to tell the time. Hasn't got what you call all the complications on it, which are like the battery life, the date and all that. So yeah, it's simple and it's good. So this icon that looks a little bit like a menu, well, that activates the menu, and you can see it brings up this kind of familiar 4-icon menu system. So you can swipe through the menu system from right to left here, and you can see there's a lot of good features on this watch. You can also click the back button, which is this one, and if you click the middle button, you get a keypad. So if you've got this paired to something with a SIM card in it, then you can make phone calls from this watch. And if you go into the settings on this watch, there are actually a choice of 2 other clock faces. There's another analog one, which is even simpler than the first, and you can see that here, but it's nice to have that option. And there is also a digital one with more complications like battery life indicator and the date, etc. So it's good that you've got those 3 choices. To be honest, on some of the watches that cost as much as $40 more than this, you still only get a choice of 3 watch faces, so this is pretty good really. And there are a whole host of other settings that you can change on this watch. Now there are a number of features on this watch that don't require it to be paired with a Bluetooth device, and they are, for example, the sedentary reminder, which I thought used the accelerometer in the watch to work out whether or not you're moving. But in actual fact, I think it's just a fancy, well not so fancy, alarm really. I think you just set an alarm and it's meant to remind you to get up and walk around. And the same with the drinking reminder as well, because obviously the watch doesn't know whether or not you're drinking or not. But that said, the sleep monitor I think does use the accelerometer, in fact I know it does, as does obviously the pedometer feature. Right, I'm going to show you some of the Bluetooth features on this watch now and show you the app you have to install on your Android device. Well, I don't have an Android phone, but I do have an Android tablet, so I've installed the MediaTek Smart Device app, which is freely available in the Google Play Store, and now we can load that up and take a look at it. Pairing the watch to your device is really straightforward. The app guides you through the whole process. So the watch is now paired with the tablet and with the app, and you can see it says connected up there, but to be honest, most of the features in this app don't actually work, if I'm honest. So I was quite excited when I saw this My Applications menu because I thought, oh wow, you can install apps on this watch. But to be honest, it just gets stuck in this sort of loading screen. If you've got one of these watches and you have successfully installed apps on it, please let me know in the comments down below, because I think that would be a really powerful feature if this watch could actually do that. On the notifications tab, you can control which notifications are sent to your watch. And also there's an alert tab, which is basically a kind of range thing, so if you move too far away from your tablet, your watch will vibrate. But these other features, switch mode, scan and device info, don't do anything. But on the About screen you can send a test notification to the watch, which we will do to test the notifications. So now the watch is actually paired with my tablet, we get this little icon in the top here, which is basically the BT notification icon to say I've got a notification. Now, some of these features aren't going to work with my tablet because I don't have a SIM card in it, so I can't use the phone book, the dialer, the messaging, or the call logs, but if I did have a SIM card in my tablet or in my phone, then I would be able to access those features. But we can use other Bluetooth functions, for example, BT Music. So this is actually playing music stored on the memory card of my tablet through the speaker on the smartwatch, which is pretty cool. There's also a Bluetooth camera app. So the tablet has to be unlocked for the watch to be able to open the camera app, which makes sense really, and now we can use the watch as a remote camera trigger. So another cool feature on this watch is the BT Notifier feature, which sends notifications to the watch, and if I send a test notification from the app on my tablet, you can see the watch vibrates, and now we get this notification come up on the watch. So then you can read the notification and dismiss or delete it. So that's really cool, and in the notifications menu on the app, you can control exactly which notifications you receive on the watch. Basically, any notification you get on your phone or tablet, you can have on the watch. So I think it's really amazing you get all of those features on a watch that only costs just over £5. It's a real shame that those features don't work with an iPhone actually, because then it probably would be the best smartwatch in the world. So as is usual on a lot of these watches, there are a lot of tools on here, and usually they're separate icons on the menu, but here they're categorized under a sort of tools icon. And so if we click on that, you can see we've got a calendar, an alarm, a calculator, a stopwatch. So that's pretty good. In conclusion, I think this watch is excellent value for money. For just over £5, you get a watch which works really well with Android devices. Granted, if you've got an iPhone, then it's probably not the watch for you. A lot of the features on this watch you would expect on a much more expensive product, so I think really for just over £5, this is an excellent entry into the smartwatch market. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also remember to subscribe to be in with a chance of winning one of 2 Apple Watch clones when I hit 5,000 subscribers. See you next time for another unboxing and review.